session tonight. And tonight we are going to have another educator from different part of the world. And tonight our guest is from Azerbaijan, and she is an English teacher, and she's a teacher trainer and founder of Engadvisor Educational Center, Sabina Rustamova. When she comes, we are going to start our live session with her. I'm waiting for her to join the session, and then maybe, hello, I think she is here. If you can just send me a join request, and I can accept it, Sabina, for the session. I'm waiting for Sabina to send the invitation, or let me invite her. Just a moment. We are going to talk lots of things with her tonight. I'm waiting her to join. Let me. Yes, I have accepted the request. Hello. Yes. I don't know. So Instagram kind of a problem about it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Hello, good evening, Volkan. Honestly, right now I cannot hear you. Just a minute. Okay. So, do you hear me?
you.
Okay, I think that we are experiencing right now internet problem.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. Is it better now?
Okay. Yeah, better now.
Okay.
No. All right. I think we can hear each other.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Sabina. And it's great to see you. And I would like, before starting the our live sessions, and I would like to say thank you very much for accepting my invitation for Teacher Talks. It's really a great honor to have you here tonight, Sabina.
Thank you very much, Volkan. Good evening one more time. I would like to express my gratitude again for the invitation that you made. I hope that we are going to have really great time together, one of your great sessions, because I
I'm
follow you,
sure.
honestly.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much. I'm
you're
sure we're gonna have a very fruitful session together, Sabina. All right, so if you are ready, we can start because we are all busy. So it's better to
yeah,
start.
right.
Okay, so I know about you, but maybe our followers would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Definitely. Okay. So I'm Sabina Rustamova. I'm the founder of Engadvisor Education Center, which aim to enlighten bright minds and be guiding star to the learners who's just aim to learn the language. And also, I would like to express my thoughts about my experience. Within 14 years experience, I have gained several, let's say, chance to be English teacher and teacher trainer, but also head of English department at international schools. I worked with, let's say, with international staff, and also,
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned, that within the frame of the international curriculum, which just evolved me evolve me, develop my teaching skills, let's say to work with the young learners beside the adult learners as well. And also I am BA holder, BA graduator in English language teaching, and TESOL holder. I have got several teacher certificates. And but what about my main, let's say, aim is to boost my teaching knowledge, to get CELTA in further times. And as you know that I am also founder of the ELT Azerbaijan community
I know it.
Instagram page. Yes, yes. I'm the moderator of that community. That's not just only that Instagram page. It's just not limited with that. I have got further plans for that. Let's say, that Instagram page. I would like to broaden it. I would like to, let's say, develop. And also the aim of that, let's say, Instagram page, as you know, that is sharing ideas, teaching techniques, let's say, methods, and also time by time I share, let's say, webinars, trainings, and so on.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabina. Okay, let's move to another question. So, what was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
Actually, there are several, let's say, turning points in my own education and also, let's say, teaching career. One of them is pursuing, let's say, advanced degree in my education. It exposed me various teaching methodologies, let's say, psychology of learning, and also, during my teaching practices, let's say, experience, I tried to put myself into the shoes of my students, like by understanding their struggles, let's say, their problems, difficulties, and grasping the concept of the learning. I tried to to put myself into their bowl and face my own struggles and also challenges as well. And also another turning point is just receiving feedback from the parents, from the students, because this is not just only thanks note, but also it's kind of shaping my teaching, let's say, teaching techniques, yes, with their thoughts, with their insights and opinions.
I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Sabina. And Sabina, you have been teaching for a long time, I think you just mentioned it. So probably
Yes,
during your
right.
during your teaching career, you have tried different methodologies and strategies and techniques in your lessons, and probably you have a philosophy of teaching. So what is it? What is your philosophy of teaching?
So my philosophy of teaching is just just surrounded with some key principles. One of them is to have student-centered classroom. Like I consider that it would be better to have the students at the center of the classroom. But mostly the teachers, traditional, let's say, teachers, they try to be centered by themselves. They try to show off themselves, but actually we have to give the opportunity to the kids, to the students, in order to show their potential, and also develop their, let's say, skills, develop their communication skills and social skills as well. And also, I think that it's very important for the kids or for the students. It doesn't matter, age, to make them understand that education is not just academics. Education
I
is
see.
also like the life, the real life beyond the let's say, beyond the class.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much about the philosophy that you mentioned here for us. Okay, so as a teachers, we have some success stories and some, the failed stories, all right? Unsuccessful
Right.
stories also we have. But what I want from you to tell us if you have, of course, one or maybe two success stories of yours, if you have something inspirational.
Okay, so honestly, yes, I have. I have several, let's say, success stories, especially just my success stories. Heroes are the kids right now, and also I
Wonderful.
had adult learners as well. So I would like just tell you the story just related to my, let's say, adult learners. Once he came to me with a very limited background, I mean, that language background. He was just, disheartened, and he was a little bit frustrated that he lost completely his hope to learn the language. But by applying different methods, like I mean that individual methods towards him, so he could gain in a short time the progress. And then after a while, even I could observe the confidence, the growth of the confidence in him, and he could even give the presentations and could join the discussions. Yeah, and it was just, for me, and especially for the, like, he was a matured one, he was adult one, and that's why gaining this kind of success for him, it was just magnificent, rewarding, let's say, rewarding thing for me. But another one was, it happened a couple years ago with my special need kids. So as you know
Oh,
that, yes, they are completely different, but they are one of us. So
exactly.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So it's a little bit challenging for the teachers to create a safe environment for them, and to adapt the, let's say, learning environment for their needs. Yes, and to adapt them to their friends, actually, to create good, let's say, social environment. And that's why she had, honestly, problem with mathematical skills. She could communicate, but grasping, let's say, the mathematical concept, it was just really challenging for her. But I just talk with her and then understand that what she needs. So actually, as we know that we are writing with an ordinary pencil, but she wanted to write with the colorful ones. Okay, I didn't honestly were
Mm-hmm.
be against that. So I said that, okay, it's okay for me. If you want, you can use your colorful pencils if
I
it
see.
works. So I am very welcome. So so actually, after a while, I observed real great progress in her mathematical, like, skills. So it was just, wonderful thing for me. It was just one of the, let's say, turning point, on
I
honestly,
see.
for me.
Kind of. Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
see. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your stories with us, Sabina. Okay, and would you like to add anything else, or can I move to another
No,
question?
no, no.
All right then. And my next question is about your company. I think it's a company like
Yeah,
Engadvisor. So can you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
us about your company, like Engadvisor? What was your aim with it? So how it works? What kind of things you are there?
Um, yeah, so actually we are educational company which provides different programs. We are not just, our, like, audience is not only kids, but also we are just providing different, let's say, programs to the adult learners. And we try to create cozy environment to, like, to make people feel themselves in their home coziness. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why
Wonderful.
yeah, so, and with and our, let's say, teaching staff just selected directly by me, and we try to be, like, uh, let's say, student oriented, and to meet their requirements and needs as well.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Okay. Great. Thank you. And I hope you will have lots of success with your company,
I hope,
Engadvisor.
I do
Okay,
believe.
so let's move to another question. The next question is related about the English language teachers. So, what for you, what are the most important qualities and skills a successful English language teacher should possess?
Uh-huh. So I think English language teacher should possess mainly responsibility.
Ah,
Uh, the responsibility is very important and significant. And another, let's say, thing or quality that they need to have, or we need to have, let's say, it's passion for teaching. Like without passion, you cannot do it. You need to have like a love for teaching, enthusiastic. You need to be like without it, you cannot just achieve any goal, or let's say be patient with the kids' difficulties,
uh-huh.
challenge. Yes, because they experience a challenge while learning, and you have to be calm. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, empathy. As I mentioned before, by putting yourself into their shoes, into their bowl, you have to like you have to emphasize with your students like understand perception, I mean, and with that way I think you may achieve the goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key
I see. Thank you very
principle.
much.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think also can we say that these are the kind of messages for the teachers that you are working on in your company?
Oh, actually.
Maybe they can take them as a message. Okay. Anyway, just let's move to another question. So my next question is related with the primary students. Like, what strategies do you suggest for creating a student-centered classroom environment that's really important, that
Mhm.
promotes active language learning for primary students?
Mhm.
Sometimes
Uh,
teachers, they have difficulties about it.
yeah, exactly. So I think one of the most popular strategy right now is project-based learning.
Mm,
Uh, PBL, yes, it's
PBL, yes.
yes, PBL. So I honestly like that strategy, because here the key students, I mean, they create the projects and try to improve their language skills around it. So it's based on the let's say project. And another one is just cross-curricular strategy,
Mm-hmm.
which I really apply. I really like to apply it within my class.
Wonderful.
Cross-curricular is a kind of, cross the, for example, science with the math, or science with the art. Once I did it, honestly, it doesn't only work with the primary students, it may work with the preschoolers as well. So so for
Oh, that's great.
example, yeah, I have already honestly applied it and it worked. For example, our topic was about the time from the math, and I just crossed it with the literacy, let's say with the English. I choose one, let's say, book where was the main like topic about the time, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
so I just crossed it. I combined that those let's say subjects, and it just worked really nice, because here the
Great.
kids,
Mm-hmm.
yes, here the kids not only, let's say, evolve their knowledge about the math, but also their language skills they improved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I see. It's really great. These two kind of strategies are
yeah,
really useful for them.
and also
I really like also the
storytelling,
PBL.
we may
Mm-hmm.
also use storytelling. It's also very very let's say useful and beneficial method strategy. Storytelling is just magnificent, really. For example, the kids or peer teaching. I just yeah, try
Wonderful.
to yeah, remember them. Peer teaching, it's very important and very interesting method. For example, the kids are just learning from each other. They communicate with each
Exactly.
other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for example, they can even correct their mistakes. I mean that with their peers, and by that way, the they grow confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it just grows their confidence while talking, while communicating, because as we know that most of them, they are very embarrassed and shy
Yeah.
while talking, especially because they have got language barriers. They cannot overcome it. And but with that strategy, we can just cope with those difficulties.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you, Sabina, for this advice for us about the primary school students. All right. So let's move to another question. Sabina, when you think about, of course, you also train the teachers. You give lots of the training sessions you had. When you think about them, your training sessions or presentations or etc., what was or were the most interesting situation or situations that you faced? Probably you faced, but if you tell us one story,
One of
we
them.
would like to listen. Yeah.
So honestly, it's really a little bit strange when in the middle of the session, the trainee, let's say trainees, give you different kind of question, and you try to focus on that and express your thoughts about that. And so it was one of my let's say interesting story. And also before my each session, I try to like research every topic, like in order to respond, let's say, teachers' questions. And when I observe that how they are using the materials that I am sharing or that I'm like using, it's just incredibly valuable thing, because I see that how my work is appreciated. And
Uh-huh.
this is actually, I mean, that most interesting thing that I had that I remember from my sessions. And yes.
That's it. Okay, thank you very much. By the way, there's a question, maybe you can see it from Nadia, I think. She tells us correcting mistakes by peers sometimes turn into offense.
Mhm.
How do you deal with it?
Mhm. As facilitator, we have to take main role here. We have to create such kind of, let's say, safe environment uh, within the classroom, that they cannot have the chance to offend each other. So here we do not give completely role to the peers. We just give them responsibility. Like we are the leaders. They are our like I mean that like kind of workers, let's say, or just our and with that way we can just give them responsibility, not control. The control always
With
ours.
us, I see. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sabina. Let's move to another question. It's okay. All right. So this question is related with the parents. Sometimes, what advice do you have for parents to support their children's education at home?
Mhm. So honestly, I am also parent. You're also as well.
Yeah.
We simultaneously we carry both, let's say, positions, like a parent and a teacher. I think the most important thing to spend the time with your kids. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter like to ask that how are you. Yes, it's not just. It would be better just to create communication to understand that what happened during the day. Because if you just ask this question like a question, so at the time they will just answer that yes, it was okay. But
Mm-hmm.
what was okay? We have to understand that. Then, of course, they may just do homework. They may just create safe mindset for their kids and themselves. For example, they can read the book. I mean that to their child, or I mean that they have to spend time with them.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabina. Let's move to another topic, which is something about really sometimes the teachers have difficulties with the preschool kids. That's really important for us.
Uh-huh.
So, and also they really want to have fun and they really want to engage in the lesson. So how can you make English lessons engaging and fun for preschool kids? Can you give us some suggestions?
Yes, mostly I am aware of the papers. I am really aware of the papers. I mean the worksheets. So instead of them, it would be better to use hands-on activities, hands-on objects like interactive activities can be applied. And the kids are very hungry for the playing. Yes, they are. Hungry
Exactly.
players. Yes, and that's why we have to turn the educational environment. We have to meet with their needs and create educational and playful environment for them. It should be like jolly for them. As I mentioned, for example, if you teach it time, you can just teach it by playing as well. For example, there is games like Mr. Wolf. What time is it? This kind of
Mhm.
game, and by playing it, you may just transform the knowledge to them. Yes, without using any book, without using any worksheet. So it would be better to use again, as I mentioned, interactive activities, the strategies that I mentioned before, for example, project-based learning, and of course we have to adapt it according to their age and the level as well. Yeah.
Mhm. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabina, for your advice about it. Okay, so it's sometimes we face real difficulties about following the technology.
Mhm.
Really, how can I say, it develops very quickly, and sometimes we miss lots of things. But how do you stay updated with teaching strategy, sorry, with the latest developments and trends in language education or general education? How do you do that?
Honestly, I always research the, let's say, explore always different websites, or let's say Instagram pages. It doesn't matter for me that where I got that knowledge. But I try to explore it all the time. For example, creating, let's say, a ELT Azerbaijan community. That Instagram page also helped me to be updated, to keep myself tuned to the latest. I mean that latest updates, innovations. For example. Nowadays, it's very popular artificial intelligence, which just integrated to the classroom as well. Not only classroom, but also we can use it in all life sphere. I just keep myself updated, let's say, by researching, by attending any other, let's say, teacher development courses, programs that just provided uh, by provided, let's say, embassies or any other, let's say, educational entities. It doesn't matter for me. Just I just accept it from everywhere.
I see. Oh,
From
thank you.
you as well. Yes, I learned a lot of things, yes, from these kind of sessions, honestly.
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, Sabina, thank you. So let's move to another question, which is, Sabina, what advice, again, my questions with the preschool kids, like, what are some common challenges in teaching English to preschool kids, and how can they be overcome?
Mhm. Uh, Challenges, honestly, obvious. They are limited attention span.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as they have got very limited attention span, we have to keep our activities, I mean, that learning period very short. Then we have to engage them to the, let's say, to the music, for example, to the dancing, let's say, warm-ups, or let's say energizing, let's say, activities. They are energized, and we return back to the learning process. So with that way, we can just gain their attention. Or which I really like, it's a percussion. If I pronounced very properly, the percussion body. It's kind of like action that you are making with the body by playing the
Uh-huh.
music. Honestly, I just encountered those kind of activities in my Turkish peers. I saw they use it. You are actually using that activity very much. I really love that because it really gives the opportunity to the kids, the preschoolers,
Mm-hmm.
to return their attention back to the lesson, and also language barrier. Yeah, and that's also one of the challenge that they are having. They are
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
non-native speakers. They try to speak. They try to use their first language. Yes, in this case, you have to use visual aids, gestures, mimics, and you have to be all in one.
I
Yes,
see.
you have to be like actor. You have to perform. Sometimes you just pretend that you are, for example, like pretending games. You have to you may apply. Then other classroom management. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
real.
let's
I can
say.
imagine that it's really difficult to manage the classroom during the lesson sometimes.
Yes, and it's also consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Is very important here. If the teacher wants to have really proper, let's say, classroom management at the time. I just mixed.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're talking, I just mixed it. There was a message, and that's why
Oh, we
it just
were
distracted me.
talking about you were talking
Classroom. Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I got.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
classroom management.
Yeah, consistency that I mentioned. Yes. For example, there are several rules. You have to repeat it every day, every single lesson. For example, you have to put your hands like that, or you may just sit hands on the laps, or I don't know, sit crisscross, applesauce, this kind of thing. You try to grab their attention. Yes, and with that way, you may just rule the class. um, Again, you need to have your own, let's say, personal classroom
Uh-huh.
rules, because again, we may say that these rules may work, but it can be differ from class to class, because of the kids, let's say, psychology, kids, let's say, characteristic features. Yeah, it differs from class to class. But
I see. Thank you.
generally,
Thank you.
again, yeah, generally, again, consistency is very important.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's a comment there. Saadet is writing there as a commenting here. Classroom rules should be set in the beginning of the
Yes,
term. Exactly.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move to another question. But would you like that anything else, or can I move to another one?
No, we may move another
Okay.
one.
Okay, I will. And can you tell us, like, can you share, if you have, of course, some innovative teaching strategies or projects you have implemented? But actually, you mentioned it, but if you have, uh, actually, if you would like to add more things, you can say about it.
Yeah, honestly, I implemented another, let's say, it's not like a strategy. It was just project that I made one of
Mm-hmm.
international school in Baku. It was just handmade books. So we so what does it mean? So it means that most of the time we do not need to buy the books. We can make them by ourselves. So by making these kind of books, interactive books, they are not just simple ones, interactive books. The kids are just flipping the page or taking out let's say, the objects from there, and they can just explore. I mean, that's explore the story by touching, by feeling. So I implemented this kind of, let's say, project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also my favorite one is just cross-curricular,
Yeah,
which I mentioned.
you
But
mentioned. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Okay. Thank you very much. And there's a question. Let me show it here.
Mhm.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Dear Sabina, what is the biggest challenge in your job and how do you manage in this situation? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, the biggest challenge is not working with the kids. It's the big challenge is to work with the, let's say, adult ones, because yeah, kids are
Mm-hmm.
very kind, but what about the adults? It's a little bit different, because here comes subjective, objective, like points, and so
Mm-hmm.
adults are the they are
The
the
biggest
biggest
challenge
challenge.
for you, I think, adults. I see. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so let's move to another question. By the way, the time flies, and just
Yeah,
a couple questions left. Really, how is it going? I hope so far so good.
yeah, it's
I
good.
hope you're not bored.
Everything is fine.
Okay, okay, wonderful, Sabina. Let's move to another question. Sabina, the time flies, as I just said, but how do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you still be teaching or try another job?
Honestly, I uh, I already, let's say, tried myself out in different spheres, but uh, mostly which I just preferred to have, it's just teaching, because here I am event organizer, here I am the leader, manager, everything in one. So and that's why I would prefer, I hope, I would prefer to be a teacher. But in 10 years terms, I think that I would like to be the director of the Teacher Development Center. And to,
Wonderful. I hope you
yeah,
will.
I hope. And also, I would like to have the branches of my, let's say, educational entitled Engadvisor in different countries. But it's a just
Ah,
dream. Let's see what happens.
I see. Okay. I hope you will do that. Okay. And let me ask you another question. Thank you very much, by the way. You know that in our life, sometimes we face really difficult times, like or situations. And during that situations, and we say, "Oh, oh my God, I wish I could have this superpower so I could do that," or "I wish I could have that superpower so I could do that easily." But when you think about this into the classroom, if you could have one superpower to use in classroom, what would it be and how would it help you?
I would wish to have a magic wand, like magic stick.
Ah,
Yeah, in order to touch everyone's life and their mind, and not to put them into difficulty while learning. I would like help and contribute the kids with that way. So I mean that I would wish to have a magic wand in order to like rescue them from the from the heaviness of the learning process.
I see. So you need that the magic stick, I think, to touch them. I
Yeah,
see. All
touch
right
them.
then. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for this superpower. All right. So again, let's say that we finish this the interview and you go outside or step outside your office or home and you find a lottery tickets that end up with like winning $10 million. What
Oh,
would you do? It's a nice
so
money.
if it happens, I'm going to end the session very soon. I'm joking. I'm really joking. So I would invest to myself it maybe
No,
sounded a
of course,
little
that's
bit,
your money.
egoist, but I have got a purpose, honestly. If I got that kind of, let's say, opportunity, I would invest myself, but in order to help the others,
Mm-hmm.
to contribute the others. Because I always try to collaborate with my teacher peers, teacher trainees, uh, without any, like, I mean, that aid. So I just want to help the people. So that's why I would invest myself if it happens.
It's really great. Of course, you can do whatever you want because that will be your money, so it's your choice. But it's a great one if you invest it with a good purpose. Of course, anything you can do it. All right. So thank you very much for sharing your
You're
ideas.
welcome.
And let's move. Let me ask you another. I mean, actually, now I'm gonna ask you the last question, by the way. So are you ready for it?
Ah, yes, really.
Yeah, the last question
Oh,
of the session.
so it's already
Okay.
the last question?
Of course, I it's time flies, I told you.
Yeah, time
Okay,
flies.
so what is your motto?
Hmm. Okay. So my motto is just empower minds, inspire hearts,
Oh,
shape the future, keep on going, and never ever give up.
very nice. Can we have it again?
One more time. Empower minds, inspire hearts, shape future, keep on going, and never ever give up.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabina. That's really nice motto from you. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
that's all my questions, Sabina. And
thank you very much.
before
Welcome.
ending, before ending, you're welcome. Before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else?
I would like at the end to again express my gratitude for the invitation that you made. It was a really nice session that I made with you. Uh, I hope that this session is going to be like beneficial to others as well, because time is very valuable thing. They spend their hours and time, and you also spend your time for me. Thank you very much
Mm-hmm.
for your invitation one more time.
You are welcome. And thank you, Sabina. And I would like to say one more time, thank you very much, Sabina, for your suggestions, for your advice, and especially the most important thing, your time. You spend your time here. That's really important. Thank you. And Sabina Rustamova was with us tonight with a Teacher Talks at 135th session. And so we had a really fruitful session with her. And we are going to be here next week on the same day at the same time with different educators from different part of the world, like as you know that every Monday at 9 p.m. And until the next time, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, Sabina,
Take
and
care.
wherever you are, good evening, good
Mhm.
morning maybe, or good afternoon, and peace, everybody. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
You too.